Would 10 cents when it comes to Turbo seem bad to me? Now, why am I even saying this, even though nothing I say is financial advice? It's because if someone has watched one of my previous videos when it comes to Turbo, they'll know that originally I was kind of talking about Turbo and maybe the idea of it, hypothetically, going to the price of 50 cents during a fully fledged bull run. But a lot of people, they kind of felt like, oh, stop talking about 50 cents and all this. They want to know a different scenario. So I'm going to talk about a scenario which I think is way less than what I think maybe could hypothetically go, and that is 10 cents. Now, this still wouldn't even seem that bad to me, again, because at the price of 10 cents, that's around a 23x from here. I don't think that's bad, really. I mean, if it were to go to that price, considering current circulating supply, the market cap at that point would be around $7 billion. You gotta think about this. Something like Dogecoin reached over $80 billion in market cap back in 2021. And that year as well, Shiba Inu reached around 40 billion. Many people out there are saying that, something like Dogecoin is going to reach like 160 billion or whatever, 150 billion during this war. And they're saying Shiba Inu is going to go 100 billion or whatever. Even though that's a very tough task, we'll have to wait and see. But I'm just saying, if let's say that type of stuff does happen, are we saying around 7 billion? Can't hypothetically maybe go into this in terms of market cap? This is just my perspective. Again, it may never happen though. But the way to take a look at it is this as well. When it comes to something like Turbo, the unique thing about it is that when it comes to meme coins that are created by AI, I think Turbo is arguably the number one in terms of the attention, in terms of the recognition. Because when I think about a meme coin created by AI, sure, there's a bunch out there. I mean, there's so many launch pads. It feels like many people are just launching random meme coins. But then, when it comes to something like Turbo, again, it kind of has that status that it is kind of the pioneer within the space, if that makes sense. Because if we think about a meme coin other than Shiba Inu or Dogecoin, it seems like the pioneer is Pepe, because it felt like it was kind of like the third meme coin in this space that really gained that type of following, like what we once saw with, Shiba Inu and Dogecoin, if that makes sense. Because there was a bunch of other meme coins, but then they kind of just, did their thing, wasn't really amazing, but then Pepe really showcased itself. And when it comes to this space, again, a meme coin that is created by AI, I think Turbo is arguably kind of like the pioneer. Now, let's not forget though, Turbo doesn't have any sort of fantastic AI capabilities in my opinion, but then the way I view it is this. It has the unique touch because, of course, it's more so kind of like, I would say, something that makes it different. And in the world of cryptocurrencies, I think sometimes that is what people pay attention to when it comes to meme coins more specifically, because when it comes to projects that are other than meme coins, fundamentals could be argued, right? Like, for instance, if we take a look at a decentralized finance project, maybe we can compare, okay, which one is faster? And also we can take a look at other statistics and kind of like put it in terms of a comparison. But when it comes to meme coins, we cannot really argue the use case because it's not really a requirement, if that makes sense. Like, for instance, if let's say I was planning to become a, tennis player, would they evaluate my singing capabilities? No, they would not do that, right? Is a meme coin going to be evaluated in terms of its capabilities to have a good use case? No. But then again, that's the analogy that I would use, that tennis player analogy. But even besides that, how can a meme coin kind of differentiate itself? It has to be unique, it has to be different, it has to be interesting. And I think Turbo is that because, Turbo isn't a dog-tea meme coin. It's different, it's unique, and again, it's a meme coin created by AI. And I think some people out there, they just kind of forgot all about what Turbo did back then, and they're like, oh man, it's doing so bad and all this type of stuff. But the way you take a look at it is this. Some of my friends out there, they're really FOMOing into Bitcoin, but Bitcoin's price is already over $100,000. People are like, oh, why isn't Bitcoin pumping? Well, historically, it already did, in a sense, right? Could it go higher? Maybe. Some people are predicting that, but it doesn't seem like for this bull run at least. I don't know if it could do like a 5 or even 10x because let's take a look at this logically. Bitcoin, the price is already, again, over $100,000. If it were to go to, let's say, 300,000, slightly less than a 3x from where it is as of right now, let alone like 200,000, which would be less than a 2x actually, slightly less than that again, right? So then, how much more could really Bitcoin do for this bull run? As opposed to something like Turbo, because it is an altcoin, theoretically, because the market cap is way lower, it doesn't need that much volume to really make it do maybe a 2 or 3x. That's the way I view it. Now, some people are probably wondering, okay, why is the price of Turbo going down so much? The way you take a look at it is this. Because again, by nature, Turbo is not only just an altcoin, but then of course it's in the category of a meme coin. These meme coins, they typically, when the market isn't doing that good, right? When it comes to altcoins, they're going to go down really hard, usually. But then typically when the market does really, move and really go in a positive direction, we've seen time and time again what meme coins like Turbo, Pepe, and, Dog with Hat, historically speaking, also Book a Meme, we've seen what they did, right? We've seen how fast they move. Even though I'm not guaranteeing anything, I think we can all take a look at the chart when it comes to Turbo and see what it did not too long ago. So if let's say the altcoin space was a lot better, I don't see why a comeback wouldn't hypothetically be realistic when it comes to something like Turbo. But it really is just a waiting game, because take a look at the initial pump when it comes to Turbo. Sure, many people believed in it, but I didn't find many people who were able to predict that exact moment, right? In fact, I've never seen anyone predict that exact moment. Maybe there is someone out there, but again, I haven't seen that, So what can I prepare myself in terms of that moment if it does happen again, let's say? That is just by me being in the projects that I believe in, holding and just waiting. Literally, that's it, because that's the only thing I can control. I can't control the market going down or up. I can't control that. The only thing I can control is myself. So if I believe in a project and I like its, future direction, maybe, what I'm going to do is just believe in it and just dollar cost average, hold, and I just wait. Literally, that's it. I'm not a day trader. I don't use leverage. I don't swing trade. I don't do any of that type of stuff. All I'm focused on is just believing in projects and just thinking about it as a marathon. It's not a sprint for me. I'm willing to take a chance on it, but you know what? No one told me to do that. No one forced me to do that. And I did it on my own decision, basically. So I have to be prepared. If let's say it does either bad or good, I have to be willing to accept that. But then I am just very excited when it comes to this space overall. So I'm not going to stop believing in Turbo. And usually altcoins, as a worst case scenario, they typically peak around 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event. And the last Bitcoin halving event happened in April of last year. So we add 18 months on top of that. That's around October this year. So I feel like maybe, at least based off history, as a worst case scenario, it may not be over hypothetically just yet when it comes to altcoins. But then, of course, each cycle is going to be different. But whether or not altcoins, generally speaking, peak in October, maybe, let's say November, December, January of next year, or even February, whatever the case may be of 2026, we'll have to wait and see. But whatever the timeline is, I'm still going to be believing in Turbo, and I'm not going to quit. And that's the way you take a look at it. I'm not saying I'm only holding Turbo, because I'm not. But then it has to be one of the meme coins that I believe in, because on top of me believing in a project that has amazing utility and all this, I also like meme coins too, because I think they're very exciting for me. And sometimes, again, I like something like Turbo with a very strong community, good exchange listings, and also on top of that, I think it has a unique approach. But at the price of 10 cents, I don't see why not, even though it may never happen. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm a peace. Bye.